talk about the independent football regulator.
It is the world's biggest sports radio station. It's talkSPORT, Max Rushden and Barry Glendenning with you on the warm-up for 2 hours, the perfect duration
in simple
for this
terms,
show.
It'll be an organisation not controlled by the Premier League, the EFL or the government, which will make sure all clubs are financially stable and don't rip off the fans. The aim is to make sure
today's programme. Let's begin with the sports headlines from Tom Clayton.
Max, thank you. Good morning. There was no belt on the line, but Conor Ben's like in beating Chris Eubank Jr. to winning a world title. It was purely revenge that Ben earned last night after that defeat earlier this year. Ben says it's even sweeter due to family ties from the past.
It meant a lot to me. I think 3 years of my career, this has been the fight. Family
Certain
feud,
supporters might be a welcome relief. It's likely good news for the EFL. The tension between them and the Premier League over a fair financial deal has been increasing in recent years. As it stands, talks have broken down. The Premier League backed out of recent negotiations, but the regulator will have the power to force through a deal, meaning more money for clubs lower down the pyramid. Now, this might sound simple, but in reality, there's concerns this will open a legal can of worms, which could result in messy court cases involving the Premier League and the regulator. Parachute payments will be brought under the control of the regulator too. If they reduce them, it could mean a wider variety of clubs securing promotion to the top flight, but critics reckon it'll just mean the gap between the Premier League and EFL actually widens, as promoted clubs won't get as much money, which should normally be used to buy better players so they can compete. And current Premier League clubs have said if there were no parachute payments, they'd actually invest less, which would harm the quality of the top flight. And if clubs don't invest, then you'll get exactly what the EFL don't want, which is the same 3 clubs going down every year. And remember when Cardiff's owners changed the club's colours and badge? Well, in future, fans will have to approve any major changes to their club's heritage. Now, that might all sound great, but do we really need it? Some say the downfall of Reading and Bury is an exception, not the rule. So as a whole, the most successful footballing pyramid in world football doesn't need regulation. They say it scares investors who can help grow the game. If those investors go elsewhere, well, the Premier League may no longer be the destination for the best players in the world. And others, well, they just don't trust politicians to appoint truly independent people to regulate our game.
Morning, everybody. It is the world's biggest sports radio station. It's talkSPORT. My name is Max Rushden. Alongside me, Barry Glendenning for the OG warm-up, the OG schedule, 11 till 1. This is what we want, Barry. More of this, please. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you, Max. I've just had a nice week at home in Ireland. So right. I'm.
When you return, is it like the prodigal son? Are there people there to welcome you at the airport? Is just people sort of bow as you walk past?
No.
Are you Ireland's most famous export?
Not even top 100,000, I would say. No, I arrive home. I always marvel at, when you come out of arrivals, and there are always people, no matter what time of year, and it's particularly crushing at Christmas time when people go to wait at arrivals for their relatives. And any time I arrive, there's no one there for me. Oh. And people have made the effort. They've made signs. Children have made signs. They've brought the dog. The dog's wearing a Santa hat. He's got tinsel on his collar. And I just troop through on my own and go straight to either the taxi rank or the hire car desk. Yeah.
But, there is you give off a kind of part way between Jack Reacher and the Littlest Hobo vibe.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, you're one man /dog /Yorkshire Terrier. You've got business to attend to. You're not here for sentiment. You're here to do a job. And it doesn't matter who gets hurt.
Yeah. I mean, would you say I'm more at the Reacher end of the scale or the littlest hobo end of the scale?
I mean, they're actually pretty similar.
They are similar. Do you think they'd get along? Are they too similar, maybe?
What, sort of like Lampard and Gerrard? Could they?
Reacher and the littlest hobo do a job together? Could they both, if they both barrel into the same town at the same time, which is kind of their MO, obviously. They don't have roots anywhere. They're loners. They work alone. I mean, the littlest hobo is probably less of a loner than Reacher, because littlest hobo is reliant on others to feed him, I guess.
No, I think he's quite resourceful in that way.
Oh,
I think actually the similarities are... in many ways, I'm starting to think now that Lee Child
needs to do a Reacher Littlest Hobo crossover.
No, I'm thinking that whoever invented the Littlest Hobo should be issuing a strong lawsuit against Lee Child for basically ripping off the Littlest Hobo in human form and sort of making him the size and shape of Lawrence Dallaglio.
But isn't the Littlest Hobo Knight Rider was similar, except he had the car, obviously, which was kind of a sidekick.
Yeah.
Very much a sidekick. I would say the car was the main...
Okay. I was going to say, are you the Knight Rider? Am I David Hasselhoff and you're Knight Rider?
I'm Kit.
Are you Kit?
And then the Incredible Hulk. So, but he's basically two people as well. There was David Banner, and then there was the Hulk, the monster he transformed into, the green monster with a heart of gold. So I suppose Reacher, fiercely independent. The Littlest Hobo, fiercely independent.
Absolutely right.
Could they both, if they both arrived in the same Midwest town at the same time, and there was an evil businessman trying to evict local people from their homes so he could build a giant chemical silo, would Reacher and the dog be able to work together? Or would they just get in each other's way? It is very much a Lampard-Gerrard scenario.
It is. I mean, if you take those two and David Hasselhoff and the Hulk, then what you have is basically the issue that Thomas Tuchel has with the tens for England, doesn't he? Because you've got Rodgers, Bellingham, you've got Cole Palmer, Phil Fox. One of them won't even make it there. They'll all get to the town, and someone will say, "Sorry, David, you can't come." There's already three. I've selected the Littlest Hobo to do the job, and if it's not working out, I'll bring on Jack Reacher with 20 minutes left.
Well, if the Littlest Hobo, you need cover, because the Littlest Hobo, he might get mange or parvo.
Do you think that's what Tuchel's thinking? I need cover for Kane in case he gets mange.
He gets fleas.
It's terrible. Kane, brackets, 2 weeks, brackets, fleas. It's possible, isn't it? Dan's been in touch to say, can Barry do us all a favour and get the yips out of his system on behalf of entire country before 2 p.m? Oh. Cheers. So, look, you were back home for that victory over Portugal.
Now you make it sound like I specifically went home for that game. I wasn't at the game. I specifically went home to visit my mum. She sends her best, by the way, Max. You've met her a few times.
Hello, Mark.
She's a big fan of yours. So I went home to see my mum. I was looking forward to watching the game with my mum, but she went to her weekly film club with a neighbour. So I watched the first half of the game at home in the living room of the Glendenning homestead on my own. And then I went to the pub for the second half down the town, Nolan's in Connaught Street. And
how was Nolan's when Ronaldo got the red card?
I'll be honest, Max. Nolan's was not busy. It was a school night.
Okay.
The weather was foul. I went home on was it Tuesday morning, and it did not stop raining from the minute the plane landed in Dublin to the minute the plane landed or took off again.
It's like a little grey cloud over your head, like a cartoon.
And I haven't driven for a while. I don't have a car here in London, but I'd hired a car and I had to drive home in what can only be described as a monsoon. And it's not, when you're not used to driving, it's your first time driving in ages, you're on a motorway and you can't see out the windscreen. It's not ideal. And then it was even worse on the way back. So it's about an 85-mile drive from Dublin to where I live, or where Mum lives. So anyway, I made it. Didn't damage the car, didn't damage myself, didn't damage anyone else. But I'll be honest, like almost everyone else, I did not see that win over Portugal coming. The Ronaldo red card was the icing on the cake. Although I would say, I think him being suspended is much better for Portugal than him being in their team. And
I agree.
Which is a stance I've had for quite some time.
Well, I agree, but also I really don't mind if Portugal are good. If
it makes no difference to me anymore whether Portugal are good or not. I didn't see that win coming. I was absolutely delighted, but now I'm sort of cursing Ireland because I had written off their chances of being in with a shout for qualification for this World Cup when they lost to Armenia, and in what was a disgraceful performance, I think, and it's not a word I use lightly when I'm describing a football match, but it was a terrible performance. But they've beaten Portugal. I'm not optimistic today because I never am. I'm worried today will be a bit after the Lord Mayor's show, and I'd say the players are mentally and physically exhausted from that effort against Portugal. So, hopefully, fingers crossed.
Matt says, I can't remember the littlest hobo dispassionately killing multiple ne'er-do-wells in his show. There is that. Jimmy in Ilkley says, littlest hobo does need someone to open doors for him. Reacher normally does that himself.
Yeah, but Reacher can't lick himself.
That is true. They have different skills, don't they? Sean in Stakeford says Barry's more flipper than Kit. So anyway, I'm so hopeful for you. I agree. If you're just beating Armenia, this whole thing's not an issue. That's the annoying thing, isn't it? But Hungary aren't bad.
Well, Ferenc Puskas is suspended, so that's what's something.
That's good. He's not. He has put on a bit of timber.
I mean, we drew 2-2 with Hungary in Dublin. I think we were a bit lucky to get that draw. Very late equaliser. Like most other people, I know they've got Milos Kerkez. I know they've got Dominik Szoboszlai. I know they've got that guy Callum Stiles from West Brom. And there's a fella called Barnabas Varga. I'm not sure how I know that, but it's one of those pieces of information that's in my brain. I think he plays for Ferencváros. And, they're celebrity fans. Harry Houdini, Franz Liszt, Zaza Gabor, the guy who invented the Rubik's Cube. Your guys are going to take one hell of a beating this afternoon. Can you hear me, Zaza Gabor?
Dave says 8 minutes in, an absolute nonsense crossover between the littlest hobo and Jack Reacher. God bless Max and Barry. Love the warm up. Actually, I thought we brought it back to the pertinent questions of the international break. Not necessarily. That wasn't our plan. In fact, there was clearly at no point before the programme did we say let's begin with the littlest hobo. That's not how this works.
It was an organic riff.
It really was. Anyway, this is the warm up on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Doing what matters for the trade. Find out more at travisperkins.co.uk or download the app. Faker Others, our England correspondent, will join us in just a second. We'll talk about England's trip to Albania.
7 wins out of 7 in this qualification group. They've scored 20 goals in the process.
In all aspects, I'm happy about that because it was a real test. And we won, we kept a clean sheet. Atmosphere is good, energy is right, so.
Inner and self-belief. Yes, can border on arrogant, but it only comes on arrogance and an issue when you lose games. When we win games, you never hear anything negative about it.
We're happy with the result, 2-0, another win, and yeah, still building the momentum, so happy.
Punch clear, O'Reilly back in, staying deflection. Oh, what a goal from Saka. That's a magnificent volley. Just a sensational goal.
So England go to Albania, 5 o'clock kickoff live on talkSPORT. Let's talk to our England correspondent, Faye Carruthers, who is out there in Tirana. Hey, there's a bit of a delay apparently, Faye, so I'll say over, like we're talking in, we're in the army. How's Tirana? Tell us all about what you've been doing in Tirana. Over.
Check. Thank you very much, Max Rushden. In Tirana, we've been having a great time. This is the Grand Park of Tirana behind me here. It's absolutely stunning. We're not that far from the stadium, actually. It's a really lovely city. We've been very busy. Talked to both Thomas Tuchel and Harry Kane yesterday. Looking forward to this and hoping that it's going to be 8 wins from 8 and 8 clean sheets in a row. Over.
I presume you weren't listening to the first 10 minutes where we discussed whether Harry Kane had mange or not. So you probably didn't ask him that. But what did Tuchel and Kane have to say for themselves, Faye?
Very much looking forward to the game. Talked a lot about what they're building and the momentum that they're building ahead of going out to America. Talked about, Harry is very much hoping that because Albania have now booked their spot, their playoff spot for the World Cup, he's very much hoping they're going to play a little bit more open football. They actually have only conceded 3 goals in this qualifying campaign, and 2 of them were against England in that first game all the way back in March. So he's hoping that actually they'll play with a little bit more freedom, which will then allow England a little bit more space. Equally, we know that they're going to have to play teams that they're going to have to break down and that are difficult to break down out in the World Cup in the group stages. So it's good practice for that. But I feel as if that is something that has unlocked now under Thomas Tuchel. He's found the solution, if you like, which was always a problem. He talks about it in terms of low block and middle block. When you get teams that bank 5 and 4 and difficult to break those lines, but they're managing to do it now, and it's really exciting watching England play, even though it wasn't the most intriguing of games in many ways against Serbia at Wembley the other day. You watch this England side and you feel like something is going to happen, and then we've got substitutes that can come on and really light up a game, and I'm really feeling positive ahead of the World Cup next year.
Faye, do you get a sense from Tuchel or the players, even though it doesn't really matter in terms of the group, how important is keeping this final clean sheet to them? We saw from Arsenal, until Sunderland scored 2 against them last time, how much they love keeping clean sheets. Are England similarly inclined?
Yeah, without a doubt. Actually, Thomas Tuchel said he doesn't want to jinx it. He doesn't want to talk about it too much because he's superstitious. But they are desperate for it because, it's basic maths, isn't it? If you keep a clean sheet, you're likely to get either a point or a win. It's quite key. And so I think, that can tend to feel boring. Keeping clean sheets, but 1-0 to the Arsenal is a phrase for a reason. If you build a momentum like that and you're taking 3 points and you're progressing through a tournament as England are going to do, keeping clean sheets is really key.
Who's going to start in the 10 this afternoon, Faye?
I've got a feeling Jude Bellingham is going to get the nod because I talked to Thomas yesterday about whether certain players are better coming on as substitutes and impact players and others are better as starters, kind of establishing, getting a foothold in the game. And he said, absolutely, there are types of style of player that are better suited to starting and types of style of player that are better at coming on and making an instant impact. And now that, he was absolutely right, making sure that Morgan Rogers kept his spot, and he explained his reasons for that. They didn't know how Serbia were going to line up, and the press that they've been implementing with Harry Kane, Declan Rice and Morgan Rogers was something that they'd established over the 3 games prior to that. So to bring Bellingham into that, if they had to adapt it, it wouldn't have made sense. But also I think it's smart in terms of seeing how Jude Bellingham would react to being on the bench. You know, psychologically that's really important, because there are going to be players that aren't going to start, and actually, you know, there is this huge debate. We always talk about it a lot and put so much emphasis on the starting 11, but actually, you know, the players that end the game, the finishers, if you like, are even more important in many ways. So he talked about that. So I think Jude Bellingham is going to get the nod today, and then let's see whether Morgan can come on and make a difference, or perhaps if he tries Phil in the 10. You know, he came on more as a 9.5, like a false 9 for Harry Kane the other day. Maybe he'll try something different with that. I thought Eberechi Chiesa was excellent when he came on, but he came on the left, and actually he was supposed to be competing in the 10 position, but maybe in this camp it is more of a left winger because Anthony Gordon's not here, so he might start on the left instead of Marcus Rashford today potentially. But you know, he doesn't want to make 7 or 8 changes, that's what he said, but I do think there will be changes because he has to manage the players' minutes ahead of the Premier League weekend.
Faye, Tuchel has said that he has he knows sort of if everyone's fit, he has 7 or 8 players who will definitely start, say, the first game of the World Cup. What positions are still up for grabs, in your opinion? What ones is he not sure about?
It's really difficult to say.
Sorry.
I know exactly what you meant. Don't worry. It's tough because it's going to depend on who's fit. So I still don't think we've decided on our first choice centre-back pairing. We haven't actually had everybody fit, and Ezri Konsa hasn't travelled out here, which is a shame because he was starting to build momentum. But actually, Thomas said that he might not have started anyway. Mark Guehi is obviously injured at the moment, and we know John Stones' issues with fitness. So I think the centre-back pairing is a big question. I feel like the spine of the team is pretty much cemented, bar that number 10 position, and it might be that it's going to depend on opposition. And so, you know, again, we've not necessarily... He wants a very settled team, but depending against certain opposition, other players are going to suit that. But, you know, Pickford nailed on, obviously. Declan Rice in that 8 position. I think Elliot Anderson has now confirmed that his spot. Additionally, Harry Kane up top. I feel like Bukayo Saka is 100% our right winger. Left wing, I think it's Anthony Gordon's to lose, but obviously he's injured at the minute, and Marcus Rashford does do a good job there, but we're just not quite seeing... I mean, we're seeing brilliant stuff from him at Barcelona, and he's definitely making an impact for England, and we're starting to see the Marcus Rashford that has played for England in the past. But I'd like to see goals. I'd like to see, and it was only the penalty against Serbia in that 5-0 win in Thomas Tuchel's reign that he scored. I'd like to see more goals. So I think that left wing spot, there's a question mark over that. And then left back is the problem. Left back's been the problem for ages. At the minute it's Nico O'Reilly's, and I think he did a really good job, but that's just one game. That was his debut. I think Miles Lewis-Skelly will come back into the team, but obviously, you know, dependent on whether or not he's getting into the first team at Arsenal, that's going to be problematic. Jed Spencer's done a decent job there as well. There's still Tino Livramento to come back. I feel like if Reece James is fit, he's got the right back spot. So I think we're there or thereabouts, but on the left is maybe where the biggest question is.
Good stuff, Faye. Have a lovely afternoon and enjoy the game.
Thank you.
Thank you, others there, our England correspondent. Barry, what's your prediction? When will the heartache? When will we get done this World Cup? Semi-final defeat to Argentina? We struggle in the group, or like we do well in the group, but then Brazil do badly and we get them in the last 16. What do you reckon?
I don't know. I don't think you struggle in the group. I'd be very surprised. And it pains me to say it, I do think England have the players to win a World Cup, this World Cup. My main concern for England would be the weather, specifically the heat. So where they're based and where they end up playing, I think will have a major say in how far they get in the tournament. I don't know what you think. Because I know Thomas Tuchel has said, we are planning for the heat, but that there is only so much planning you can do. If it's very oppressively hot and you're a pasty, a pasty
you're
man,
Elliot Anderson.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult.
I'm just there going to enjoy the ride, and when when it's all agony at the semi-finals, it'll be okay because it's always okay.
I always get the fear.
Yeah, you do,
and
you get the fear.
Yeah, I get the fear.
You're always okay.
And I often think, am I just being incredibly childish? Because I've lived in England longer than I've lived in Ireland now at this stage.
Of course you're being childish, but you should be childish.
Yeah.
You absolutely shouldn't want England to win. We would be insufferable. Not for long.
I know.
We don't forget, but for 2 weeks it'd be an absolute nightmare. Matt says Barry messing up the interview by not saying over.
Yeah.
Come on, Barry. It is the warm-up on talkSPORT. Max and Barry with you until 1 o'clock. Paul Watson from the Brilliant Sweeper podcast will join us in just a second, and he will give us a rundown of Curacao and Suriname and Haiti and Burundi and all the sides that we have absolutely nothing about. Now get ready to kick off 2026 in style. This is not for you, Barry. This is for the listeners. talkSPORT and our mates at Virgin Atlantic are giving you the chance to win an incredible trip for two to Las Vegas. You'll kick things off in style with exclusive access to the Virgin Atlantic Clubhouse, Heathrow, then fly in upper-class comfort with live flatbeds and premium service all the way to Vegas. Once you touch down, you'll check into a spa villa for 4 nights. Cheer from the stands as the Las Vegas Raiders take on the Kansas City Chiefs, and we'll give you £5,000 in cash. While you're there, clear your calendar. The holiday is January the 2nd to January the 7th, 2026. This could be the greatest start to a new year you have ever had. Good luck.
21 plus, UK excluding Northern Ireland. For a chance to win, text WIN to 83338. Text at £2 plus standard network rate. Bill payer's permission required. Or call 03434239761. Calls are charged at standard rate. All entries must be received by the 28th of November at 4 p.m. This is a network promotion. Run across talkSPORT, Virgin Radio UK and Talk. Full terms and conditions at talksport.com.
Now, Barry, while we wait to talk to Paul Watson about Curaçao and Haiti and Suriname, I don't know, did you watch Scotland last night and the sort of madness of them being 3-2 degrees and go 1 goal from this and they'd be top of the group because somehow Denmark were losing to Belarus?
I didn't see this game, unfortunately. I've heard about it. I heard chaotic was the word I heard described. Craig Gordon apparently played brilliantly despite conceding 3 goals. He must be at least 57 by now. Yes. Craig, excuse me. Excuse me, Max.
That's okay. Are you emotional? I tell you what.
Please talk.
Do you want me to know? I'd quite like to just witness this. It's all right. Paul Watson from the Sweep Up is here. Can you save Barry's life, Paul, before we talk about other stuff? How are you, Paul?
Good. It's a big ask, Max. I prepped for this segment, but I'll be totally honest with you, that wasn't part of what I prepped.
Yeah, saving Barry's life.
Let's talk about some of the countries that we don't really focus on necessarily. You do on the Sweeper Pod. It's great. Can you start with Kosovo? Because they've made the playoffs, and in this game where they beat Slovenia, also one of the best own goals I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, it was a masterpiece, wasn't it? That own goal. Kosovo. It's been an incredible campaign for them. They are FIFA's newest member. They only joined in May 2016. They've benefited from Sweden having an absolute nightmare. There's no doubt about that. But the way they've played has just been fantastic through this campaign. They are on the brink now of the play. Well, they're in the playoffs, and they also could qualify if they beat Switzerland 6-0, which I don't think will happen.
No, probably not. But and will they be, because the playoffs? I'm sort of, I'm late to learning about the play. Who plays who. But will they have away? Will they be away in the playoffs? Likely, or
I think they're in pot 3, so I think they're away to a pot 2 team, so they actually don't get the hardest of the draws. That's the pot 4 teams end up playing against pot 1, which is, I think, Italy's your nightmare draw, that they're in pot 1. So Kosovo fancy their chances a little bit, and it's really genuinely a remarkable thing that they've managed to pull off on this campaign. And they've got this German coach, Franco Foda, who's doing a wonderful job, but they've actually got a real scattering of really talented players from Italian league, German league, Czech league, Turkey, Poland. So they're a strong team.
Paul, Haiti are on the brink of qualifying despite not being able to play at home. And my notes tell me they're inspired by a former Oldham goalkeeper. I'm guessing that's Paul Gerrard or Mike Pollitt.
I'd love to think so. Yeah, Johnny Placide has been amazing for this campaign. He played for Oldham. He's 37 years old, and he's just come into this incredible run of form. He was the man of the match against Costa Rica, who they beat 1-0. And this is in some ways the most remarkable story, because they are this close now. They are 1 win. They just need to beat Nicaragua at home. And that would leave Honduras needing to beat Costa Rica away, which I don't think they'll do. And if they can't do that, then Haiti will be in the World Cup, first one for 52 years. And given they have to play all their games away from home, effectively, it's just an incredible effort, really.
Why do they have to play away from home?
Because of the state in Haiti at the moment, the unrest in Haiti, it's one of the most kind of volatile places in the world politically in many ways, as it's been a horrible situation. And so the players are sort of playing against this backdrop that they know their home nation is in the grip of a horrible sort of domestic situation, and they've just gone out and got remarkable win after remarkable win, really.
I suppose this is the side of the World Cup expanding. The fact that Haiti, and then we can talk about Curacao and Suriname, these teams getting the chance to get into the World Cup.
Yeah, and it's specifically very pronounced in CONCACAF, because obviously that's where you'd have the USA, Mexico, and Canada, right? So you remove them, and these like second-tier nations are moving up in the pecking order. But this is not to undermine their achievement. Costa Rica are the kind of side we're used to seeing at World Cups. They've qualified, I think, for 5 in their history. So there's a change in the balance of power in that region. And part of that is due to this thing called sports passports, which is a new initiative in 2019, where in the past you couldn't have dual citizenship players playing for these teams like Curacao and Suriname. That all changed now. So they were suddenly able to field players of heritage in the Netherlands, and that has absolutely changed the kind of fortunes of these national teams.
Right. Okay. So how close are these? How close are Curacao?
Well, Curacao are close and they're not close. They need to draw with
Where
Jamaica
is Curacao
away.
on a map? Obviously I know. But could you let the listeners know?
Little dot in the Caribbean. It used to be one of the it's one of the ABC islands, Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao, which were the Netherlands. I think they were the Netherlands Antilles
the
as
Dutch
a group.
Antilles, right?
Dutch Antilles, right. So you did get them as a sort of thing in people's consciousness. Curacao, so they were the best example of this. Of a nation that would be the smallest to qualify for a World Cup if they got there. 160,000 people is all there are.
Wow.
And that's slightly misleading, because they have picked an entire squad of players who were born in the Netherlands, except for I think one who is currently injured. So every one of their players at the moment was born in the Netherlands, has heritage, and it's really changed the way this team looks and their abilities. They are suddenly a really strong team. They had this moment where Jamaica conceded a late equaliser against Trinidad and Tobago. This is Steve McLaren's Jamaica. Had Jamaica not given that away, Curacao were more or less not going to be able to overhaul them. But now they just have to go to Jamaica and win, which is going to be very difficult. But if they did, they would become the smallest nation by population ever to play in the World Cup.
Wow, and imagine if they got the Netherlands in a group.
That would be great, wouldn't it?
Absolutely brilliant, wouldn't it? And what about Suriname?
Well, Suriname's a similar story. So again, Netherlands is the link there. The Netherlands, Suriname have a history of providing great players, with heritage to the Netherlands. So you look at Ruud Gullit, Clarence Seedorf, Edgar Davids, Virgil van Dijk, all have Surinamese heritage, so they could have played for Suriname, theoretically. So Suriname have got this again, largely Dutch-based squad that have just kicked on massively. They would be the lowest ranked nation ever to qualify for a World Cup. They are 126th in the world. North Korea were 105th when they qualified for the 2010 World Cup. That was the previous lowest. And all Suriname need to do now is beat Guatemala, and they are in the World Cup. And that looks, I don't want to jinx it, but that looks fairly likely at this point, I would say.
Okay, and then you've got so many. We don't have a huge amount of time, but of all these stories, they all sound great. Burundi losing to their own B team, the British Virgin Islands getting more wins in a week than they have in 13 years, and Guatemala's heartbroken kit man. Tell us the British Virgin Islands one.
Yeah, this is lovely. So British Virgin Islands, traditionally one of the lowest ranked teams in the world, have just had this incredible week. They beat the Cayman Islands 2-1 in what is slightly meanly known as the tax evasion derby by some people, which was their first win in over 2 years, and actually only their second win in 13 years. But they followed that up by thrashing Bahamas 6-0, which is their equal record win. And it does mean they've got, more wins in this last week than they had in the last 13 years added together. And they've been inspired by a striker with the brilliant name of Javon Splat.
Oh, that's good, isn't it? And why is Guatemala's kitman heartbroken?
Did someone hide the shin pads?
Oh no, this is quite sweet. So Guatemala, their World Cup hopes ended. They had very slim World Cup hopes. They ended with a 3-2 loss to Panama, they were really unlucky in that game. And after the match, this clip went viral of the poor guy who has to come and pick up all the balls off the pitch, like the training, after the warm down, he had to come pick up all the balls. The Guatemala kit man was picking up the balls and just weeping, just tears going down his face, because I think he was just so gutted that they had gone out. And it's been kind of used as a bit of a stick to beat the players and the coaches with. They're saying, well, look, this guy cares. Well, why aren't we able to do better when you got this kit man sobbing into his, I was going to say sobbing into his balls, but that sounds bad. Sobbing over the ball.
It's just like into his ball bag. It's absolutely fine.
That's much more palatable, isn't it?
Yeah,
Ball
totally
bag covered
fine.
in salty cheers.
Anyway, we should probably end it. What a lovely place to end it. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate your time as always. Paul, if you are interested in that kind of stuff, then listen to the Sweeper Pod. Simon says Max using Suriname as a segue to discuss Scotland. Amazingly stealthy Mickey taking by Max. And pedant alert from Jim in Glasgow says, Max, it's the World Cup finals these countries are trying to qualify for. They're already in the World Cup. Oh, come on, Jim. You know what we mean, Jim. But we take the point. Anyway, Max and Barry here on the warm-up, brought to you with the people, nice people of Travis Perkins for the latest big trade deals. Head to travisperkins.co.uk or download the app. Thanks to everyone who got in touch to ask people who are watching on YouTube or the smart speaker, if on their smart TV rather, Jim and Arnold, amongst others, if Paul Watson was working out of a sauna. And I just think he just has impressive woodwork that he's sitting in. But, it does look like a sauna. I've mentioned to him in the past. Anyway, let's get some team news from the WSL. Aston Villa taking on London City Lionesses. Dave Rowe watching for talkSPORT.
Yes, morning, Max. Excellent results for both sides last week. Villa still await their first home win, but they've only suffered one defeat all season, and they pulled off a big victory last week when they won at Manchester United thanks to a goal from Miri Taylor. They were due to be unchanged today, but Anna Patton was taken ill in the warm-up and she's replaced by Rachel Daly. Meanwhile, it's 4 wins and 4 defeats for London City, who were 2 points above Villa in the standings. A very decent start to life at this level, and their best result so far was last week's 4-2 win at home to Spurs, where Freya Godfrey capped things off with a terrific 4th goal, and they are unchanged today. A midday kick-off at Villa Park. It's Aston Villa against London City Lionesses.
Thanks, Dave. West Ham Everton. The Moose has the team news.
Two of the bottom 3 meeting here in Dagenham, with Everton at least having won a game this season in the WSL. West Ham haven't, although they are unbeaten with a 100% record in the League Cup, but that doesn't matter when it comes to the WSL. They did get their first point last week against Leicester here, and they make one change. Morgan drops the bench, Hanshaw comes in. 2 changes for Everton. Pacheco, a former West Ham player, is out injured, so Kitagawa comes in. Robinson replaces Gago up front. And by the way, you were talking about the British Virgin Islands just now. I know the manager from about a year ago of that particular team, Chris Kiwomya, the former Arsenal and Ipswich striker. Doesn't have any effect on West Ham women against Everton women, but I thought I'd just throw it in there for knowledge value. It's West Ham and Everton, and we start here at midday.
Lovely. Robin Whitstable's been in touch in regards to the British Virgin Islands. Lovely to hear a mention of Jav Splat. He plays for the mighty Oyster Boys, Whitstable Town. Well, that's a lovely spot, Whitstable, isn't it? I'm quite looking at houses for sale on the sea there, thinking, well, I'm not going to buy a house there, but I couldn't afford that. But you have a pint in the Neptune. It's a lovely little spot.
I haven't been to Whitstable yet. I have a couple of good friends from Whitstable, but awaiting an invite.
Yeah, take the train down. Just go on a day trip. Lovely spot. Anyway, this is the one. It's not talk nice seaside towns of Kent, for goodness sake. It's talkSPORT. Let's get the latest odds ahead of today's action with William Hill.
In the Zone on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Final One Standing. New from William Hill. 18+, gambleaware.org. Terms and conditions apply.
Lee Phelps joins us. Morning, Lee.
Morning, how are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. So a week off for Final One Standing.
Yes.
And
yes.
But it's gearing up to next week, isn't it?
Yeah, the 22nd it all starts again, so my voice is a little bit sketchy. And nothing to do with Barry's throat. I seem to have picked up a bit of a lurgy, but less than 1% left of players in that original game, the £500,000 game. Palace have got 37% of the players. Villa 14%. Man United still got 12%, so it just proves that people have been keeping Man United up their sleeve for a little while. So yeah, really looking forward to next week. Get it all there. We might have a winner or two next week in some of the smaller games, so looking forward to that.
Are you in a lay-by, Lee?
I'm not in a lay-by as such, but just in a country lane. I'm going for a game of golf.
Okay. Oh, I see. Oh, how delightful. Okay, what do you play off?
Yeah, 18.
Okay, solid. Good enough to have
Thanks
three
for that,
good shots around it. It's good enough.
I reckon Phelps is probably a bandit. He should be off 7 or 8.
Yeah, I reckon. Another cheating way.
I wish I was. I really wish I was. I'm not. I love
all right. Let's do the home nations then. England playing Albania. I've got Ireland at Hungary. Scotland, Wales chances after last night.
Yeah, well, obviously England, the 100% record, you'd expect it to continue, wouldn't you? Albania have already got a second spot as well. So, if England are anywhere near on their best, then this should be another comfortable win. Epic boost is Harry Kane, mange permitting, that he scores in the game. Obviously, anyone who's just tuned in, he hasn't got mange. It was a callback. It was a poor attempt at a callback.
Hey, they don't deserve to know. Yeah. They don't. If they don't switch on at the start, they don't deserve to know, Lee.
No, but for the purposes of the epic boost, he hasn't got it. 6 to 4 from 8 to 11 to score in this game. Obviously, arguably the best striker in the world at the moment. Scoring goals for fun everywhere he plays, in every competition he plays in. Scored in the reverse fixture. So yeah, epic boost is Harry Kane to score. 6 to 4 boosted from odds on in the game. You get impact sub as well. So if he gets subbed a little bit earlier than you expect, and the player coming on replaces the bet as well. So yeah, they should win comfortably. You guys were talking about Republic earlier on. Incredible performance and result the other night, and that means that they've obviously got now a chance to get into the playoffs. Hungary odds on 4-5. I think that's fair at home with the team that they've got and the players they've got. As for those other games coming up, I mean, a couple of blockbusters, haven't we? With Scotland and Wales. Scotland lost, but Denmark only drew. I mean, they were 1-14 shots to beat Belarus, by the way, only drew. So that is a huge game at Hampden on Tuesday to win the group. The 5-2 to win that group, Scotland. So they're the outsiders there. 9-4 to win the match in 90 minutes. 11-5 the draw. Denmark 11-10. You know, Scotland will make that a big home game. Wales 8-15 to beat North Macedonia and clinch second spot in that group. North Macedonia 9-2. So interesting one. Wales only beat Liechtenstein 1-0. But again, home crowd on their side. You'd hope that Wales and Scotland can both get wins there. Should be a cracker, both of them.
Yeah, both really interesting. The Scotland game is absolutely enormous, isn't it? Horse racing, darts, tennis, NFL, lots going on, Lee.
Yeah, loads. Yeah, it's a cracking afternoon. Obviously got WSL as well, so look, check out all the bets on there. We've got bet builders on the England game as well, so if you're looking for that with Impact Sub. Yeah, in the horse racing, another epic boost today. Ambiente friendly evens from 1-2 to finish in the top 4 places of the opener at Cheltenham today. That's a 115. 2024 Derby runner-up, Cheltenham Hurdle debut, Ambiente friendly, and the Connections actually had a 33-1 winner with a horse doing the same kind of move over. So yeah, top 4 in the 115 at Cheltenham. If Ambiente friendly features in that top 4, evens from 1-2. Yeah, we've got obviously the darts Grand Slam. We got odds on that the Lukes get to the final in that one. Loads of NFL, yeah, and of course we've got the tennis, the ATP Tour final, which is, as ever, Yannick Sinner against Carlos Alcaraz, with Sinner the favourite there. Looking forward to it all after I play adequately at golf.
May you strike the ball, Lee, with the power of 10,000 suns.
That is the inspiration I actually need. Thank you, Barry.
Lee Phelps there. That was the latest odds brought to you by Final One Standing, new from William Hill. Terms and conditions apply. 18+, gambleaware.org.
In the Zone on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Final One Standing. New from William Hill. 18+, gambleaware.org. Terms and conditions apply.
It is Max and Barry here on the warm-up with you until 1. Mike Langdon, European football expert, will join us in just a second.
When Sir Jim Ratcliffe took control of footballing operations at United, the Manchester-born billionaire was somewhat welcomed in as a homegrown hero, ready to save the club from the dark days of the Glazers. But in just 12 months, he became a punchbag for many fans. So what happened? Let's take a look and you can decide for yourself. The important context here is that over the last 3 years, the club has lost over 300 million quid. And from day dot, Ratcliffe committed to fixing this, which of course is the right thing for the club. But what seemed to get fans' backs up is the way Sir Jim Ratcliffe, accompanied by Sir Dave Brailsford, went about it. For example, talkSPORT understands their lunch options at the Carrington canteen have been reduced to just soup and sandwiches, which the higher-ups at the club say will save them 1 million quid a year. Now that might make sense for many who don't get free meals at work themselves, but it gets a little bit more picky than that. It was reported that after staff brought some stationery, they were ordered to send sellotape back because it wasn't considered essential. The reward for being Steward of the Week used to be 50 quid, but that was scrapped and replaced by a paper certificate. And such is the grip Ratcliffe has on spending, he reportedly scrapped company credit cards, meaning some staff racking up hundreds of pounds worth of expenses and spending weeks out of pocket waiting to be reimbursed. But it's not just the stingy decisions around the amount of tea bags in the cafeteria. In 2024 alone, Ratcliffe oversaw 250 redundancies and more were announced at the beginning of 2025. Now, while there are people who acknowledge that United staff numbers are overinflated, it's the optics which aren't great. Because while all this has been going on, Casemiro's getting paid 350 grand a week, and the club forked out 14 million quid getting rid of Eric Ten Hag and Dan Ashworth. But United fans' rage doesn't just stop here at the cuts. Ratcliffe's unpopular decision to introduce a flat ticket price of 66 quid for every fan, even children, certainly did not go down well. For fans, it feels like the very foundation of the club's support is being attacked for the sake of making marginal financial gains. But Ratcliffe has backed it, saying if you shy away from difficult decisions, then nothing is going to change. And time will tell whether these measures will improve operations at the club and help drag standards up on the pitch. But one thing's for sure, his first year wasn't exactly a charm offensive, and there's still a long way to go for United to be back to where many say they belong.
Good afternoon all, this is Warm Up on talkSPORT. Max Rushden and Barry Glendenning with you until 1. Jim's been in touch, Barry. Cars in lay-by, saunas. What next? What kind of sleazy show is this?
Well, I was just thinking, you know, I could call him the sexy man in the kind of jingly thing. It's getting hot in the warm-up. Yeah. I always worry we're not living up to the expectation he builds among listeners. But this talk of
today
Lee Phelps in a lay-by, Paul Watson in a sauna.
Yeah, we're getting raunchy today. What a way to introduce Mark Langdon from the Racing Post. Pressure's on now, Mark. How are you?
Oh, hi Max, hi Barry. I'll bring the tone down a bit as well if you want.
Good stuff. Where should we start? Look, can we start? Because look, Hungary Ireland kicks off in 2 hours, right? It's a massive game for both sides actually. But give us an idea of what the Republic are up against today.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Ireland are in a position where they would definitely have taken this probably at the start and definitely midway through a campaign that hasn't really been that good. So for them to be in this position, I think they're quite lucky to have found themselves in this position. Hungary will be kicking themselves because really the game in Dublin was theirs to be won. They completely dominated most of that first half. A red card in the second half then changed the game somewhat. I mean, player for player, that they just are better than Ireland. Salaway up front, You've got Kirkes obviously at the left back, but Szoboszlai is a kind of Roy of the Rovers type player, just wants the ball all the time, is often that player that drags them forward. And I think if you're thinking logically, Hungary should still win this game, or at least do enough to finish in second spot. But there's probably more pressure on them than there is Ireland, and I suppose you've got hope that Ireland, given the way they played against Portugal, might be able to do something. But I'm sure Barry would agree that there hasn't been that many games where Ireland have looked like winning a game of this magnitude, I would say.
No, I totally agree with you, Mark, even if I'm not happy with you actually saying all that out loud. I'd prefer if you kept it to yourself. Ireland are extremely fortunate, I think, to be in this position. They can actually win the group. If they beat Hungary and Armenia beat Portugal, Ireland qualify for the World Cup, which that would be an astonishing turn of event, considering how pear-shaped their campaign was going about 3 or 4 games ago. Mark, did I read somewhere today Germany are in possible danger of not qualifying? Is that right, or am I talking through my hat?
So Germany haven't won their group yet either. So they've got game against Slovakia. If you remember earlier on in the campaign, they lost to Slovakia, and the fact that Slovakia then beat Northern Ireland in that crunch game on, I think it's Friday night. It's hard to sort of recall all of these games given the speed at which they play. I think it was Friday night. It does mean that Germany are in danger. And I think this is quite interesting because you often sort of, I was at Leyton Orient game yesterday against Exeter, and there were some people sort of near me discussing how boring England's World Cup qualifying campaign was, and how it's all pointless. And I didn't jump in, but you could argue that really just is not the norm across kind of Europe, particularly. There are a lot of teams that have struggled to qualify. There's a lot of jeopardy elsewhere, and so I think England really are the sort of anomaly to the fact that it's been quite easy for them. It's been a short and quick World Cup qualifying campaign. There's only one sort of guaranteed spot for grabs, and a lot of teams, Germany and Italy, particularly, and you mentioned Portugal, are either in danger of not sort of qualifying automatically, or in Italy's case, almost certainly having to go through the playoffs.
Ukraine, again, given everything that is happening in that country, to be in with a chance of qualifying is incredible. They can't play games at home again. They play Iceland. It's nominally a home game for Ukraine. I think I'm right in saying they're not playing in Ukraine, right? But that is winner takes all for the. It's in Poland, right? Yeah, they're locked on 7 points. So this is a huge game for these two sides.
Yeah, so the winners will qualify for the playoffs. Iceland have got the advantage of knowing a draw will do them because they've got the better goal difference. The game was played in Warsaw in Poland. Ukraine should, if you look at the quality of their players, should do enough. It's not a home game, but they have been playing in Poland now, I think, for long enough for them, almost for it to have become like home for them. So I mean, it's not perfect, but that I think they are becoming more used to sort of basically what they've got to do. So one thing you would say about Ukraine is that Sudakov, really important creative player for them, he's missing. Iceland, a bit like Ireland, really. I'm not quite sure how they've managed to get themselves into this position, mainly thanks to a draw against France, where they were absolutely battered for 90 minutes and came out of it with a 2-2 draw. I think it would have been completely different had they been sort of going to Poland needing to win this game. The fact that they only need a draw, and we saw last night, Denmark, it should have been easy for them against Belarus and couldn't beat them. So when the pressure's on, I think that does sort of just add a little bit more to the game. Ordinarily speaking, you'd say Ukraine should win. This Iceland side not as good as the one that sort of qualified for the Euros when they had what for them was their sort of golden generation.
Mark, you touched on Italy there. There's a decent chance they will not qualify for the World Cup, which I think would be 3 in a row they haven't qualified for. But between those, they've won the Euros. That's just bonkers, isn't it?
It is absolutely bonkers. So yeah, they need to win by 9 goals against Norway to win the group. So the way that Norway was celebrating the other night would suggest that they don't think they're going to lose by 9 goals. And when you've got Erling Haaland up front, you're probably good for a goal or two yourselves anyway. So like Italy are going to have to go through the playoffs. They are going to be seeded. They'll be seeded first. That means they'll be playing their games at home, but that won't make them feel any better about what's coming up. This is a team, as you mentioned, Barry, have missed out on the last 2 World Cups and not in particularly great circumstances. Lost to North Macedonia in one of them, and at San Siro couldn't get past Sweden before that. And Sweden are one of the teams that might be their opponents in the semi-finals. And for a team like Italy, they will be thinking about that, and it will be on their mind. They've moved away from Luciano Spalletti was the coach going into this World Cup campaign, and like so often when teams or international sort of countries, when they get rid of a manager, they go for the complete opposite next time around. So Spalletti was very much ideology, had a way of playing, almost would rather sort of play by that style and not win than sort of give it up to try to get the points. They've replaced him with Gattuso, who is the complete opposite of that. He manages like he played, so they have become and want to become a more aggressive team. And I'm not sure he's sort of great on the tactics, but what he can do and what he does do is to just try to instill that national pride that potentially has been missing from the Italian national team in recent years. But I mean, the simple fact of the matter is they just haven't got enough quality up front. They've got talent in midfield. You've got like Tonali and Barella, Calafiori's at the back, Bastoni, you've got Donnarumma in goal. So I think they have got the makings of a team that could be sort of solid defensively and technically quite good. But up front, there's just nothing there. For a team that had Baggio and Totti and Del Piero previously, they'd love even a Casiraghi or a Luca Toni right now.
And I guess Gattuso's very much a vibes man. What do the Italian public make of his appointment? Do you know?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it went down brilliantly. He was coaching Hajduk Split previously, so it was quite a big jump up. But I think there is also just an acceptance to kind of that they were in a real hole, and Spalletti definitely didn't cover himself in glory during his reign, and that was a surprise and a disappointment really, because he'd done so well previously. He's probably better off now. He's coaching Juventus, which is, I would say, a better job really than the Italian national team. But I think he might be the right person in the short term to just try to put some fire in the belly, but whether long term you'd want him as a coach, I'm not so sure.
Just 2 foots, a couple of substitutes while singing Nessun Dorma in the dressing room, just to get everyone going. Away from Europe, African qualification, big game between Nigeria and DR Congo.
Yeah, so I mean, this was a quite complicated qualifying process, which will come as no surprise to those that have tried to follow kind of how FIFA and the confederations have tried to sort of get this World Cup into 48 teams. So there's been a 4-team sort of semi-final and final playoff being played in Morocco over the last few days. We're now into the final where it's Nigeria against DR Congo. Osimhen got a couple of goals in the semi-final win over Gabon. DR Congo, they beat Cameroon 1-0 with a last-minute goal. So the winner of this game, and Nigeria, and I think if you like football and you want the stars to be there, I think you want somebody like Osimhen to be at the World Cup. It won't actually get them into the World Cup if they win this game. They'll then go through to the Inter-Confederation playoff, where there's going to be a mini tournament in Mexico to come. We've already got a couple of qualifiers from there. You've got Bolivia from CONMEBOL, New Caledonia are there as well. So Nigeria would be one of those teams that's looking to get into the playoffs for the World Cup. So they've got this African playoff, and then they'd have like a worldwide playoff with a draw next week.
I'm glad some people are following it, so I can just be told. I can just be given a wall chart, and that's all I have to do. Mark, stay where you are. Mark's going to stay for the footballer game. Have you played the footballer game before, Mark?
Oh, it's been a while, a good few years. I may well have played it. Definitely not in the last 5 years.
The talk ahead of the show, Mark, is that you'd probably be very good at it. No pressure again.
Yeah, I would fancy myself, apart from the fact that I am absolutely hopeless under pressure. So that is always the thing that makes me most nervous.
He's going to crumble. It's exciting to see. OK, so Mark Langdon stayed for the footballer game. There's been a couple of goals in the WSL. Chelsea have won up at Liverpool. And there's been a goal in the game between Aston Villa and London City Lionesses. Dave Rose watching that one.
Aston Villa 0, London City Lionesses 1. Saki Kumagai has got it with a header. It was poor defending by Villa, a corner from the left-hand side by Aslani, allowed to bounce in the area and towards the far post. Kumagai managed to steer the header into the corner beyond D'Angelo. It had been an open game to that stage. Villa striking the woodwork early on. Kendall putting Hansen through one-on-one. She beat the keeper. The shot came back off the post, and that goal by Kumagai puts the visitors in front. Aston Villa 0, London City Lionesses 1.
Thanks very much, Dave. And if you want commentary, if you don't want to hear Mark Langdon go to pieces in the footballer game, you can tune to talkSPORT 2. They've got commentary of Liverpool versus Chelsea in the WSL right now. But we will play the footballer game next. Me v Barry v Mark Langdon versus Perry Groves. Our latest competition gives you the chance to win 4 nights in Las Vegas at the start of the new year, January the 2nd to the 7th. In partnership with Virgin Atlantic, you will fly in upper-class live flatbeds You'll go to the Virgin Atlantic Clubhouse at Heathrow before that. So once you touch down, you'll be in a spa villa for 4 nights. We'll give you tickets to the Raiders versus the Kansas City Chiefs and give you £5,000 as well. January the 2nd to the 7th. And here is how to enter.
21 plus, UK excluding Northern Ireland. For a chance to win, text WIN to 83338. Text at £2 plus standard network rates. Bill payer's permission required. Or call 03434239761. Calls are charged at standard rate. All entries must be received by the 28th of November at 4 p.m. This is a network promotion. Run across talkSPORT, Virgin Radio UK and Talk. Full terms and conditions at talksport.com.
After us, the Sunday session. Wow, only 3 hours, Perry, for you and Natalie Sawyer. This is very lazy of you, Perry Groves.
It's an indoor 60-metre sprint. It's not even 100 metres. And then we've got to watch when we finish over the finish line because we might run out the stadium. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, you've got that cushioned wall at the end.
Yeah, that is
Make
called.
sure you don't hurt yourself.
That is called Albania v England. That's our cushion wall.
You need to get one of those every week, don't you? Anyway, so what are you gonna? I don't know where to start. How are you gonna cram all the stuff you have to do into just 3 paltry hours, Perry?
Well, you're 100% right, Max. It is the Sunday session, so we can do our sounds. Obviously, we're a couple of subjects, and the listeners then text in for the music, the records that were played. Smiles, Stranger Things, previewing Albania against England, previewing the Spurs women against Arsenal women, massive North London derby, bit of Rob Edwards chat, a little bit of chat about the sparring session, the Eubank Ben 2 last night, just a little gym sparring session, which it was. Can I get a refund, do you think, from the Zone, no?
Someone asked, I was in the pub yesterday, someone asked me would I be staying for the boxing fight, and I said if they were fighting out on the street, I would face the other way, and that was before I knew what was about to happen.
It wasn't engaged fully then. No, it wasn't happening for you.
Yeah, I mean, so it doesn't sound like you two were booked for our commentary for the fight, given your enthusiasm for it. There was a bit in the 0-1 again. I wasn't really paying attention.
Conor Ben
one, right? Because in the news headlines, I heard him saying, everybody says that I'm no boxer, and this is for that. And I was like, I've never really spent a lot of time thinking about it. But look, some sports are for some people, others are for others, aren't they? But yeah, I was learning about rehydration clauses and thinking, I'm glad I don't have one of those.
I'll be honest, Max, I heard that section of your show yesterday when you were asking somebody about rehydration clauses, and it was the moment I switched off and went out to do some chores.
That's very rude of you, because the guy we were talking to, Dave Allen, heavyweight boxer, who's brilliant, who actually came on instead of talking up the fight, said how he wanted to go on Celebrity Tenable if they ever did a version of Celebrity Tenable. So I was like, this guy.
Okay.
I was really enjoying that interview. So I think you switched off at the wrong time. Anyway, should we play the footballer game, gentlemen? Are you ready, Pep?
Yep. Yes.
Okay. Mark, you still with us? Mark Langdon from the Racing Post.
Yeah, I'm ready, Max.
Okay, good. So we've heard that despite the fact that Mark Langdon has an encyclopedic brain and should be brilliant at the footballer game, Jack says Mark Langdon sounds like he'd walk the footballer game, but he goes to pieces under the intense pressure of live radio. I mean, apart from the bit when he talks about the football, but this is different. The footballer game is a different breed. Reece joins us to host. Welcome, Reece.
Hi.
Out of 10, how are you?
Oh, we'll go for 6, why not?
Giddy.
Okay, let's play.
Our first footballer began his career at Newcastle United in 2003, staying until 2016, scoring 13 goals in 215 games. He was loaned out just the once in the 03-04 season, where he didn't score in any
John Beresford.
No, for Wycombe Wanderers. He then moved to the States with Portland Timbers, where he scored once in 9. He was loaned to the Portland Timbers second team, where he scored once in 2. He then went to Ipswich for the second half of 2017, where he didn't score in any of his 3 appearances, before coming back to Peterborough for the 17-18 season, where he scored 3 times in 44. He was then out to Wellington Phoenix.
Stephen Taylor.
It is Stephen Taylor.
That was absolute. I could see this guy staring at me. I was just like, this is killing me. So there we go.
Do you know what? I don't know what it looks like now you've said his name.
What
about you, Ben?
No, I do. I know Steve. I can picture Stephen Taylor. Handsome man, a tall, handsome man. Yes,
he did that good. He got hit. He handballed it and then pretended that he'd been hit in the face. In one
that's Stephen Taylor.
I get you. Really.
Am I correct in thinking he may have become a policeman, or am I talking absolute cobblers?
I don't think he's a policeman.
Was there?
Are you thinking of? Arjen van der Zoo, the Wigan centre-back.
No. Baz, was there a lock-in last night by any chance?
No. Is Stephen Taylor a policeman? I don't know. Mark, is Stephen Taylor a policeman? Do you know?
I'd suggest not. But yeah, I don't know for certain. But it would be an unlikely.
Maybe he's just masquerading. If you see Stephen Taylor and he tries to
tell you, if he is a policeman, a lot of people in the studio and on the line are going to owe me a big apology.
And that's why you've got Dr. Google out as we speak.
Yeah.
Let it go, Baz. Let it go.
Stephen Taylor served with Essex Police from July 30th, 1979. That's a different story.
Yeah, well, good effort, though. Is that Stephen Taylor?
He was -5.
Oh, we probably shouldn't be talking about this, Stephen. Anyway, carry on.
Okay. Carry on, Player 2.
Our second footballer began his career at Strasbourg in 2006, where he stayed until 2008, not scoring in any of his 5 appearances. He then came to England with Southampton, where he stayed between 2008 and 2015, scoring 14 goals in 231 games, which earned him a move to Manchester United.
Schneiderlin.
It is Morgan Schneiderlin.
Look at this. We knew he'd be good. And there we are, straight off the bat. Morgan Schneiderlin in 5 seconds. It is Max 1, Mark Langdon 1, Barry 0.
Stephen Taylor retired from the police service.
Barry 0.
Getting his pension as we speak.
Exactly. Do you know what was he doing? Was he undercover? He was like doing a good job with a bad attitude, just there, eating donuts, just doing stakeouts. What was he?
Footballer's equivalent of line of duty.
Or was he Bubby on the beat?
I'm really sorry I brought this up.
You're desperate to be proved right, aren't you?
Yes.
Here we go.
And now I can't
Hello. Are you Stephen Taylor? You played 200 times for Newcastle United. You're like, yeah, there's your brake light is out, Mr. Glendenning.
Hold on a second. Right. I'm kind of right.
How do you mean
He was
that?
a community police officer.
The association between former Newcastle United defender Stephen Taylor and a policeman likely refers to a famous self-deprecating joke and internet meme where it was humorously suggested that he was a policeman.
That's not really him being a policeman, is it?
So
well, I didn't completely dream it up out of nothing. That's what I'm saying.
No, that's true.
Do
Anyway,
you feel exonerated, Baz?
Yeah, I do a bit. Yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't completely wrong, even though I was completely wrong.
You were. Let's be clear about this. You were completely wrong. You saw an internet meme once, and then you made up the fact that the Stephen Taylor is the new head of the Met. Here we go. Player 3.
Our final footballer began his career at Leeds in 2006, where he stayed until 2009, scoring 6 goals in 44 games. He then moved to Aston Villa between 2009 and 2015, scoring 3 times in 112 games, going back on loan to Leeds in 2012, where he played 5 times and didn't score. He was then off to Manchester City between 2015 and 2019, where he scored 4 times. No, in 57 games, before finishing his career with Everton between 2019 and 2022, not scoring in any of his 35 appearances. No, it's not Jeremy Lescott.
What was his Everton year, sorry?
2019 to 2022, not scoring in 35.
Leeds, Villa, Man City, Everton.
He got 20 caps for England between 2014 and 2019, not scoring any goals.
Blimey.
Surprised Langdon hasn't got this.
Yeah, me too. Langdon's fallen to pieces.
No, he's cruise control, Langdon. Not about that. He's got his one.
Yeah,
I've done my job.
Yeah.
I've got the
I'm
one
out of it.
He's
got a stage win.
Football.
So must be a midfielder, mustn't it? Could be a centre-back, I guess.
I can confirm he's a midfielder who also sometimes played at left-back.
It's not Seth Johnson, is it?
No.
It's not Gareth Barry, because he's played a million times, is it?
I can confirm that Baz has backed away from the microphone, pretending that he's in deep thought.
No, I'm thinking about
accused himself.
Stephen Taylor. If I could borrow his truncheon, I'd be whacking you around the head with it right now.
Oh, I'm really enjoying this. Oh, God. Come on. Someone's got to get this.
It's not Ian Hart, is it?
Isn't Ian Hart, no.
No, he didn't play 20 times for England, did he?
It's not Lee Hendry, is it?
It's not Lee Hendry.
Well, I thought we'd just say it's not. We're going with not, is it?
Friend of the show occasionally.
Is he?
No.
So he comes
didn't
on
play for Everton.
Oh.
That's good effort, though, Baz.
I can't think of his name.
I think he's
I don't
like the way I'm being scapegoated as the moron here when none of us are getting anywhere close.
Here we go.
To this.
Yeah, Jack's got it. Matt's got it. Fabian Delph.
It is Fabian Delph.
Fabian. Yes. Fabian
Delph.
Yeah.
I mean, that is
Is he now serving in the Metropolitan Police Service? Fabian, is he?
No,
not?
he's Midlands.
He's Midlands. Oh, right. Okay, I got you.
It's him and Kevin Francis are both Mounties, so that's the two of them together. Francis and Delph,
If it's Kevin Francis, that'll have to be a big horse, wouldn't it?
No, but he did become a Mountie.
Yeah.
Did you believe me, Perry?
Oh, I do, because Baz just nodded.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, why are you believing me? I mean, I'm 100% failure rate when it comes to footballers who have become policemen.
But it's a very assured nod. It was just like, wasn't it? Yes, he did, actually.
That was the nod of a man who knows of what he speaks.
Hey, Mark, you can go now. Your job is done.
Yeah, thanks, Mark.
Well done for your Morgan Schneiderlin. Thanks, Perry and
Cheerio.
Show.
Cheerio.
Sunday session with Natalie Sawyer and Perry Groves after us at 1. It is Max and Barry with you until 1. Obviously, Marcus Speller from the Football Ramble will join us in just a second. Afternoon all, warm up on talkSPORT. Max and Barry with you until 1. The NFL's international series for 2025 wraps up this weekend. Spain has hosted its first ever NFL game live from the Santiago Bernabeu in Madrid. talkSPORT will be there to bring you live commentary of the Miami Dolphins versus the Washington Commanders this afternoon. talkSPORT 2 brings you all the build-up and exclusive interviews from 2 with Will Varney, Will Gavin and Simon Clancy on the call. You'll also see the team if you head to our talkSPORT USA YouTube channel. They'll be hosting a live in-stadium watch-along with plenty of extra content as well. Miami Dolphins versus the Washington Commanders live over on talkSPORT 2 this afternoon from 2 o'clock. You can listen to that on your DAB via the talkSPORT app or simply ask your smart speaker to play talkSPORT 2. In the WSL, Brighton are 1-0 up on Leicester. West Ham 1-0 up on Everton. You heard that from the Moose. Liverpool have equalised against Chelsea. That is live on talkSPORT 2. And there's been another goal in the game between Villa and London City Lionesses. Dave Rowe.
It's the equaliser. Aston Villa 1, London City Lionesses 1. The goal scored by Kirsty Hansen. It's a nightmare for Irene Lete in the goal for the Lionesses. It was a long ball by Vilms down the right-hand side, sending Hansen away. Her cross initially was poor because there was a chance to pick out 2 in the area, but it bounced back to Hansen, who shot straight at the goalkeeper, and for some unaccountable reason, Lete managed to let the ball go in between her legs, and she couldn't believe it as the ball went in the back of the net. All square here. Villa 1, London City Lionesses 1.
All right, let's do a bit more England. We can do some Scotland and Republic of Ireland. We do whatever we want with Marcus Speller from the football. I'm within reason. Marcus Speller from the Football Ramble. Welcome, Marcus. How are you?
Very, very good. Up for anything, Max, as always.
Good man. Should we start then with England? In Albania, obviously, another win and a clean sheet would be a sort of ridiculous qualifying campaign. And actually, Mark Langdon made a good point a bit earlier, Marcus, that, you know, England fans who are bored with this qualification should take a little look at how Italy are doing, and Germany haven't quite made it yet, etc., etc. It's actually this is the right way to qualify.
Yeah, we were the first team from Europe to do so. So that's something to hang our hats on and to enjoy before the actual football starts next summer, where it'll get a lot more serious, of course. But look, England. I mean, what are England to do? I mean, if you expect England to win every qualification game 7-0, then that's just not going to happen. But they've been solid. They've not conceded a goal, as you say. It's been good. I mean, the marquee result really was the 5-0 away to Serbia. Mm-hmm. That was when it really clicked, I think, under Tuchel with England. The squad seemed to be harmonious, and I think the media and everybody kind of got involved. So the 2-0 win the other night was pretty solid stuff. And then, as you say, Albania today, you'd hope for more of the same. It would be nice if England could qualify without conceding a goal. And again, for younger listeners, to say it would be nice if England could go a whole qualifying campaign without conceding the goal. Just look at some previous qualifying campaign back in the day. It is a very rare thing. In fact, I don't think it's been done by a European side. So not to be taken for granted.
Marcus and Max, as England fans, would you prefer a more difficult qualifying group? Do you think it would be more beneficial for the team, or would you be just scared you might mess it up?
Marcus, to you first.
Yeah, I think that there's not been a huge amount of jeopardy. In fact, there's not been any really in this group. So I think your question is a good one. I think
all my questions are good questions.
Indeed they are, sir. Indeed they are.
Unless they pertain to former Newcastle defenders joining the police force after they retire from the beautiful game.
Indeed. You showed your work, and I think we can all sympathise where you went wrong there. It could have happened to anybody, but...
But it happened to me.
If it had to happen to one of us, Barry, I'm glad it was you. I think with England, they've not had any top-level opposition, and that's partly because they were in Group B, or the second tier, of the UEFA Nations League. You might remember that, Barry, where England were playing teams where they should be beating, and despite the loss against Greece, it was pretty plain sailing. I think if England had, say, I'm desperately trying to think off the top of my head who was in pot 2 for the groups, but say a Netherlands, for example, I think it probably would have done them better, because there's still that thing of England cruising through the qualification. Yes, it's great if they can go without conceding a goal. It won't probably mean much when the World Cup comes around. The friendlies in March, everyone's already saying, well, who's it going to be? There's talk of maybe Uruguay and Japan. Obviously, until the 5th of December, we won't know, because that's when the World Cup draw happens, and that's when the FA will really confirm things. But that's where you think, all right, lads, we could really do with, say, I don't know, a Brazil or and a France or somebody playing then, because they haven't really been tested. So my answer, ultimately, to your question was, yes, I think it probably would have benefited England if they had more of a trickier group, or at least one more difficult opponent.
If you're interested in my answer, Barry.
I am. I asked both of you.
You did. In my experience, England have, when they have qualified, they've either qualified very easily and then got to the World Cup, and I've got really excited, and then they've been knocked out in an agonising way in the last 16 or the quarterfinals, the semi-finals, or they've qualified and it's been difficult, and then they've got knocked out in an agonising way in the last 16 or the quarterfinals, the semi-finals. So I'm very much expecting it doesn't make any difference. I see the point. It would be good to see if this midfield was good against a good midfield, and I'd rather find that out before the quarterfinals. But even then, Marcus, a friendly against whoever in March has no bearing. It just doesn't have a bearing on it. This is why the World Cup is so silly, but also brilliant, right?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think that you always, you'll always get somebody who'll say, oh, this side are brilliant. They only conceded one goal in qualifying or something like that. I remember ahead of, we go all the way back, I think it was the 2006 World Cup, and I was being all fancy and smarmy to my mates going, hey, you want to watch, would they have been Serbia and Montenegro back then? They were tight defence and so on, and they get beat 6-0 off Argentina. You can't, to try and, you're right, you can as Mike Tyson says, you can. Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face, and until England are huffing and puffing in the heat and humidity of Florida or wherever they get drawn, we won't really.
Brazil are just doing keepy uppies.
Ancelotti's looking cool as a cucumber on the touchline. You're thinking, oh man, at least we never conceded in qualifying though. You're right. Until the actual tournament comes around. But I think going into the tournament in a good mood, in a good spirit, has some value. And the England captain seems pretty happy and harmonious at the moment.
Yes. No, I'm happy. And who's the 10? Who's in the 10 for you, Marcus?
Oh, blimey. I was hoping you weren't going to ask me that. Well, we've certainly got options, don't we, Max? A lot of people thinking that Bellingham will be there when the tournament comes around. I suspect that as well, but I like what he's doing. I like the fact that he's thinking, do you know what? Morgan Rogers has gone in there and he has done everything that I've ordered him to do. He's played how I asked him to, and he's doing a good job. To kind of just say to him, well, sorry, pal, but this guy plays for Real Madrid, and, he was voted in the Ballon d'Or. He was in the list. You're out. I do think kind of sends the wrong message. However, it does seem, this is the kind of conundrum, isn't it, of international football? It does seem quite criminal to have Bellingham and Foden and Eberechi Eze on the bench. And you think, well, surely one of them or two of them should be starting. But I like the way Tuchel's kind of handling himself. So I suspect as we move forward, it will probably be Jude Bellingham, because he's such an important player for whichever team he's in. But he's going to have to earn it. And I think Tuchel is sending a message to those players thinking, if you turn up and you don't perform, you're out. I'm not like maybe previous England managers, or I'm not going to bow to public pressure. One could say he's there for a good time and not a long time. But I'm not too sure if it will be Bellingham tomorrow, but I think long term it probably will be.
Today. It's today. I'm with you on.
Yes,
no,
today.
I'm with you on just not being sure when all the games. It is. You take international breaks at 70%, don't you? And I think we all do. Like we can pretend,
Yeah.
but maybe the people that are there take it 100%. But I'm working at. If you weren't aware, listeners, I'm working at 70% during the international break, and I think you should be thankful for that sort of level. I don't know about you, Barry. Are you putting it all in?
I always leave 100% out there, Max. Always.
Did your percentage increase after that 2-0 win against Portugal, Barry?
Oh, very much so. But I'm not particularly confident today. I mean, it makes me want to cry because so many good players are going to be left out of England's World Cup squad. And I'm wondering, can Jack Grealish do a reverse Rice and we'll take him back? I wonder, is he, if Ireland qualified and England qualified and he doesn't get to go with England, would he be...
I don't think it works like that.
Yeah. Can we have him do a reverse Rice?
But talk to Uncle Gianni about that. He's the man who can change the rules for you.
He's a good old guy, and he's a good egg, so, he'd give it a
He's certainly an egg. He's certainly an egg, Max.
He is. What a lovely way to end it. Thank you, Marcus.
Thanks, Marcus.
Pleasure, Chuck.
Marcus Speller there from the Football Ramble. Just when you say you leave 100% out there, I think you're meant to leave nothing out there. Leaving 100% out there. I think, but we understand what you meant. Anyway,
I give it 110%, Max, but I leave nothing out there.
Absolutely.
No, I leave oh, God.
Doesn't matter. West Ham, Everton, and WSL. It's half-time. Here's the Moose.
West Ham 2, Everton 0. First goal for West Ham came 8 minutes before half-time. It was scored when it was a ball in basically from Anouk Denton from the right-hand side and spilled into her own net by Emily Ramsey, the Everton goalkeeper who formerly was at West Ham. Second goal came 4 minutes before half-time. It was a corner on the far side from Asai, headed home from close range powerfully by Amber Tiziak. West Ham have not won a WSL game this season so far. At the moment they are, and are moving off the bottom as well. West Ham 2, Everton 0.
Cheers, Moose. Villa 1, London City, Lionesses 1, Brighton 1, Leicester 0. It's 1-1 between Liverpool and Chelsea. And Spurs Arsenal kicks off at 2:30. We'll do Guess the Attendance next. This is the warm-up on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins, doing what matters for the trade. Find out more at travisperkins.co.uk or download the app. Guess the attendance with Justin Morehouse in just a second. But before that, Barry has gone into the WhatsApp group to say, I have huge Stephen Taylor news, and he looks very pleased with himself.
Well, Max, first of all, I went into the wrong WhatsApp group. So I've just told all my friends in Burren County Offaly that I have huge Stephen Taylor news. They have no idea what I'm talking about, but they want to hear it anyway. So hopefully they've all tuned in. Stephen Taylor, former Newcastle defender. His father, Alf, was a detective with the Metropolitan Police, Max.
Yes.
I knew I'd got some sort of police Stephen Taylor connection from somewhere. Yeah. That's it. Alf Taylor served with the Met when he lived in Greenwich.
Right, but Stephen Taylor didn't retire to become a policeman.
Well, he might be doing his training. He might be in Hendon as we speak.
He'll be in Hendon right now. You're absolutely right. Anyway, let's play Guess the Attendance today. Top journalist Barry Glendenning takes on top comedian Justin Morehouse. Welcome, Justin.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Really good. We've got 3.5 minutes for a through Guess the Attendance.
Let's make it the best 3.5 minutes we've ever had.
Okay.
I'm keen for that. I was about to say, what is the best 3.5 minutes you've ever had? But it's just not a question I want to ask the pair of you. Republic of Ireland 2, Portugal
1999 European Cup final.
Oh, yeah, that was a good 3.5 minutes.
1998 All-Ireland hurling final.
Yeah.
Or, sorry, 94.
1995, my honeymoon.
Republic of Ireland 2, Portugal 0. The Aviva Stadium, Troy Parrott with 2. Glenn Nyberg.
Good at playing off the shoulder, Parrott.
Yeah, very good. Glenn Nyberg, the ref, sent off Cristiano Ronaldo. But how many were
plays
there
at an 8.
watch?
He plays it at an 8. Plays it at an 8.
How many were there to watch this one, Barry?
I'm going to say 50,000 bang on.
50,000 bang on. Justin.
I mean, isn't that right outside his door?
No. It's 85 miles away from my mother's house. It's in a very posh part of Dublin, Justin.
It is.
Yeah, we don't have time for this.
Crime families
do not have time for this.
Crime families live according to the...
no, they live in Marbella, I believe.
No,
we do not have time for this.
They live by the stadium. What did he say?
50,000.
49,999.
50,717. Glendenning takes the lead. We go to Justin. Switzerland 4, Sweden 1. Stade de Genève. Stade de Genève. Eric Lambrex of Belgium refereed Switzerland 4, Sweden 1. But how many were there in Geneva, Justin?
30,000. Do you know what? I'm going to put in a request for international breaks off. I have no interest.
Okay, but you'll be happy with the rest of them.
29,999.
26,458. 2-0 to Barry Glendenning. We go to Brisbane Road, the BetRight Stadium, Leyton Orient 2, Exeter City 1 in League 1. Ruben Ricardo of Leicestershire refereed this one. But Barry, how many were there at Brisbane Road?
11,602.
That sounded too much like you knew.
Maybe I do know.
Oh, then declare.
I always declare.
What did you say?
I said 11,602.
11,601.
8,519. You didn't know. Simon Mather of Manchester refereed Cambridge United 0, Barnet 0 in League 2 at the Cladara Abbey Stadium. How many were there to watch this one, Justin?
Declaring an interest there.
Oh,
okay.
I heard a report on this, and they said it was a bumper crowd because of the international break.
Okay.
Right.
So I'm saying 7,750.
7,751.
7,572. It's 2 apiece. Finally in the National League.
It's 3-1.
No,
it's not. 2-2.
No, it's 2-2. George Laffin of Suffolk refereed Woking 1, Boston 1 in the National League. But how many were at the Laithwaite Community Stadium? This for the win, Barry. You were 2-0 up.
I know.
Everyone would have been right.
Martin Tyler would have been there.
Yeah, that's one.
He's right on.
You can't go through all of them.
or Andrew, what's his name? He goes to Woking, doesn't he?
Stop it. Just get on with it.
Andrew Mountbatten.
Please.
Andy Windsor.
3,700.
Oh, 3,701.
2,820. It's a win for Barry Glendenning. There we go. Good game. Well done. Best 3.5 minutes of everyone's life. We'll be back next week.